rise of the cursed moon, shadows stir, spirits awaken, and darkness dances once more. Tonight, you witness the curse take hold. This is the ritual. This is the reckoning. This is the curse of the blood moon.
You are not safe here. I never believed the stories that the folks from the Skidden village would tell. Once a generation, in the light of the blood moon, creatures would rise up and draw power from the crimson light that grows above the woods. I never believed the stories until tonight.
Movie. Check out the post on the just cool. Yeah. That was how the boys in bed. What we doing?
Is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the blue?
So good morning, and it is morning, and there's a very good reason we're filming this the next day instead of last night. That's because we stayed around quite late at Avon Valley last night, and I'll talk about that in this video. So let's just talk about what an amazing night we had last night. So let's talk about some of the new attractions, let's talk about some of the changes around the site, and then we'll cover why we were still there quite late. So first off, the brand new maze for this year, Seeds of Evil. Now, we didn't know what to expect. We've tried to avoid any spoilers on that. We've seen this fairly comical videos. It reminds us a lot of Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Werewolf. And we went into Stidham Village. And if people who don't know, Stidham is like the whole area. There's two areas at Avon Valley. You have the New England Order at the back, where the more industrial type mazes are. Then you have Stidham Village, which has got the monastery where Malefica is, or the church where Malefica is, and then of course the farm. And obviously it tells the story of there's something obviously weird growing. There's scarecrows. It's an amazing building because it's very large, and you wonder why it's such a tall, high building. And then at one point, you see this massive blood red moon, and the blood red moon is mentioned in some entertainment elsewhere. And virtually every scene you go in, you can see the blood red moon. It's obviously the blood red moon is having an impact on people throughout the maze. There are a number of there's pumpkins everywhere. There's a number of scarecrows. The locals are being definitely a little bit angry and being turned some way. And then towards the end, you just get eaten by a giant pumpkin. It's completely bonkers, but it works really well. It works within the story of what they've got. The level of detail and theming in there is incredible. There's, you look like you're actually in kitchen rooms and whatever. If I was to make one comment, there's no ceiling on a lot of the things, so you can look up. And part of that is so you can see the blood red moon, but at times it is just, you've got really nice, decent sets around you. Then you just look up and it's like, okay, I can see I'm in a big marquee here. That's a small thing. I understand that there is more to come going forward, and we'll see a better experience, even better experience. But that's not to say it wasn't a bad experience. There's some great scares in there. As I say, the reference to the moon all the way throughout, and the bonkers ending of being eaten by a giant pumpkin was absolutely fun. All the other mazes were as fun as always. So we've got the return of Malefica, you've got the Core, X4, and Vita Nova. All of them are great, strong mazes. The cast are really lively. A couple of the mazes felt like they didn't have as many actors in as we would normally used to. X4 seemed very quiet, quite a few corridors where we went down. But when we did see the actors, they were really lively. They've got loads of really good impact scares, and were working in the room and trying to get us as many times as they could. So, fair play to them. Then obviously outside of the mazes, we've got the new attraction, Lock and Load. Now that's great fun. Who doesn't want to shoot somebody in the head with a BB gun? So it's a story-led experience, and it's become a bit of a stunt show. I mean, at one point, there's this zombie up on, up quite high on two containers. And then when he gets shot, he does a proper stunt fall forward, like something you'd see in a stunt show at a big theme park, like Portaventura or somewhere like that. Another time, one of the zombie creatures dives through the coach and dives through a window, and you just see his legs dangling. And it's definitely part game, part shoot 'em up, and there's definitely a stunt show element to it. I wouldn't want to be those actors. We've said it before, whoever volunteers to be shot at randomly by lots of people, you got to be mad. But anyway, that was great fun, and a really good addition if you get a chance to do that. Then, talking of the New World Order, the New England Order, I always get the name of that area confused. They've got a brand new laser show. Now, we kept seeing it in the distance, and it fires off everywhere. You can really appreciate it. We didn't get a chance to actually stand in that area and watch it up close, so there's not much video footage of it. But you can see it everywhere. Really impressive lasers, much more impressive than they had last year, and that really stood out. Then, of course, you've got the fire show. They are famous for their fire show. They started fire Well, they were the first attraction to really do lots of fire. We've now seen fire shows at many attractions, including Tully's and everywhere else. But the Fear ones are just on a regular basis. They're all constantly knocking out stuff, and they're really good. Now, I'm just going to get something I dropped on the floor. And the other thing that they've got this year is they give you a list of show times. Now, the interesting thing about these show times is there are so many shows. Before, you used to have the fire show every half hour, and then every 15 minutes you'd get the laser show. Now we've got dance show, Halloween show, a fire show. In fact, I'll read them out. You've got a dance show called No Strings Attached. We've got the Halloween show, which is Curse of the Blood Moon. You've got the Titans of Terror fire show. We've got the Cypher Sequence laser show, which we talked about. We've also got the Sync Protocol dance show. I didn't even see that one because we were in mazes at the time, and that's over in the New World Order area. And then there's an opening ceremony where basically the actors are all introduced. It's a great, we love it when attractions do this. The How did it years ago, where they would call all the actors in and everyone's standing around. None of the mazes are open. All the actors come flying in. They've got this great open ceremony. Unfortunately, there were massive traffic problems, not Avon Valley's fault at all. Massive traffic problems, and we were late getting into the venue because of all the traffic outside. The local council closed the roads. There was a massive diversion. It was hell getting in. So if you are seeing this and you are going to Avon Valley in the next couple of days, leave early, get there early. They also then have the Witching Hour show, and there's a clip of that there. That's the final. They're trying to say to people, right, this is it. The mazes are closed. It's the end of the night, but you are then welcome to stay in the bar. If you've picked up this leaflet, there is a voucher for 2-for-1 cocktails at the end. And it says, the night's not over yet. Catch the after hours show at 11 p.m. and enjoy 2-for-1 cocktails until midnight. So they're really getting people to dwell on the site. Now, obviously, we've never had that many shows before. And the shows were really good quality. There were dance troupes throughout. There were acrobatic performances. Again, there'll be a little bit in the video here, but it reminded me a lot of Traumatica and other events and Horrorland, where they actually have entertainment going on all the time. You were never more than 5 minutes away from something going on somewhere. And you could see a lot of it from the queue line. So if you're queuing in the Republic of England, I knew I'd get the name there eventually. If you're queuing in the Republic of England section, you can see the laser shows. You can see the back of the fire show. All the other queues, you can see what's going on. But there are the fire shows, the dance shows, the opening show, the finale show. And it really created a much better atmosphere throughout the whole park. There was just a real buzz around the whole of Avon Valley. You also have the roaming characters, Chunk's back in his little motorised scooter. I kept missing him, kept whizzing past him. By the time I pulled the camera out, he'd gone. Trixie. There was some street theatre up in the Republic of England area. We managed to miss that just because we were in lock and load and then we were queuing in mazes. But we've had good feedback from that. There's really good entertainment up there. And all in, the vibe has just absolutely stepped up from what we've seen in the last couple of years. A couple of years ago, we said Fear was one of the best screen parks in the UK, and then last year just felt a little bit, I wouldn't say tired, but there wasn't anything new. There wasn't much to, keep us really entertained and on our feet. This year there was so much going on. I mean, there with the drinks, the shows, the entertainment and everything. So an absolute step change for Fear at Avon Valley. The entertainment throughout was fantastic. It reminds us a lot again of Hello Scream. We've said recently Hello Scream have really upped to their entertainment. And it shows that a screen park is not just about scare mazes, roaming characters and whatever. People want to dwell longer, have a drink, get something to eat, and take it from there. Talking of food, the loaded mac and cheese with pulled pork and barbecue on was absolutely incredible. So if you are coming, I do recommend that. One final thing, On the back of the leaflet, which is the show times, obviously they've also got a bit of advertising for their fireworks, but most exciting for a lot of people is that Summer Frights is back this summer. Now, they're going to do this, they did it 2 years ago, they didn't do it this year. They're going to try it again this year. It's a very different vibe atmosphere when it's daylight. What they normally do is only open the Republic of England section at the back. But we had a great time last time. They tried to change up the mazes. They did X4 After Dark. Not After Dark, but they did Blackout. They turned the lights out in it. So more news on that when it arrives. But we just want to thank Fear Avon Valley for inviting us down. We had an absolutely fantastic night. It's great to see the park get its vibe back, and we really enjoy it. And it is our local Scream Park, and we can't be happier that we've got a park of such quality so close to us. So with that, we're going to sign off, and we will see you at our next event.